with me again, Mega5004 here. Today I'm going to be playing some game Dev Tycoon. Now for those of you who don't know what game Dev Tycoon is, it's basically a game where you, let me just move the mic a bit. It's basically a game where you just go ahead and make video games. That's the most meta thing in the gaming community, and it's really cool. It's on Steam, because it was released a long time ago, like 2-3 years ago. So, I've already done some games. I'm gonna delete those files later, but okay, so first off, your company name, your CEO look. So, I'm just gonna call it, just that. Translate that, whatever. I don't care about the binary. I'm just going to do normally, and that's me. I will unlock the hints, and I will save over slot 2, because I had some mods installed and then I reinstalled the game. So, can I? No. But from here, how do you delete saves again? I don't quite remember. Let me actually turn on all the tutorials. Okay, so first so before the development can begin, you have to decide what kind of game you want to create and give your game a name. You can also select with a graphic technology which graphic technology your game should use. Your options are initially limited, but once you have a bit of experience and you'll be able to unlock new options. Now here's a good Easter egg. So if I just name it Pong, and I just do anything, so alternate history, RPG, ignore that, and RPG on PC because of the old G64, the old Commodore is crap. Game development runs through these 3 stages. At the beginning of each stage, you decide what areas of the game you want to focus on. Picking the right focus for your game greatly increases the points generated. So, think about what areas are important for your game, and decrease focus on areas you think are less important. If you want to read a brief description of the different areas, please refer to the help menu. While generating game reports, you start to gain insights into the development process and learn what works well and what doesn't work so well. These insights are shown as hints on the development screen, unless you turn the option off in the settings, you bastard. The hints range from ++ to negative, and indicate how important the areas are on this type of game. When hints have a question mark at the end, i.e. +++ question mark, it means that you have insights from a game in the same genre, but you're not sure whether it holds true for this particular genre or topic combination. So as I've already played the game, I have unlocked the hints, but normally it would be like blank. You have to guess in the beginning. So it makes sense. It's corresponding to things in real life. So alternate history RPG. Obviously, an RPG doesn't have much engine because it only needs the basic mechanics. Needs some gameplay because that's mostly what RPGs are, and RPGs are known for their story. So you have design and technology. They both correspond to what you've put into the thing. So if you have more technological stuff like not world design, but like gameplay, engine, story, dialogue, graphics, mostly. Stuff like that allows you to go ahead and get more technology points, but then also world design, level design, story design, engine design, stuff like that also gets you design. The goal of the game is to get these 2 as high as possible, and most preferably get them equal. Because if your design is like very high, but your technology is very low, it's gonna end up like, say, one of the Spider-Man games of 2013. If you have vice versa, it will end up like the launch of Batman Arkham Knight. So it's generally good to keep them perfectly balanced, like Just Cause 3. Again, this is also going ahead and being similar to real life. You're supposed to have the technology quality, because there's this quality. Technology quality is supposed to be as good as the design quality. Even though, for now, technology is important because you start your life out in the early 90s or so, back when arcades were there and there weren't any home consoles yet. The only home console there was a PC. Okay, so from time to time, there will also be bug points generated. These points become less likely once you gain experience. Bugs should be fixed before the game is released and increase development time and cost. Basically, you have to fix the bugs, or again, relating to real life, it would be like the launch of Batman Arkham Knight. So you tug away here, and there's an Easter egg here. If we name it Pong, this will actually move, as you will see. So, again, to contrary to real life, level design isn't that important for RPG because you're staying in the same levels. Artificial intelligence is as important because it's supposed to be a attack player kind of thing, and dialogue is what RPGs are known for. I mean, game Dev Tycoon, for people who know how to code but don't know how to make a video game, they can actually play this game and see what's supposed to be prioritized. So make a game that they're creating, so say alternate history RPG, focus more on dialogue, lesson engine, so on and so forth. During development, you can also select additional features for your game. Right now you can only pick basic sounds, but your options will increase quickly. Selecting additional features makes the game generally better, but also increases its cost. You will also see the graphic type you selected when you define the game. This is just to remind you of your choice. You cannot change the type of graphics mid-game. So in RPG, world design is good because it's not really a varied terrain, but the design is supposed to be varied. I don't know how that works properly. Graphics are good. Sound isn't as good because there's literally no sound cues. Now, when it's +++, see, look, it's moving. Yes, I know. This is just so I need to fix the bug. So, basically, what was I gonna say again? Oh crap! I forgot. Oh yeah, you get stuff as you level up. Basically, the entire point of the game is to become a big industry or big developer. So, when you develop a game, because weeks tick past in seconds, and then 1 minute is a month, and 2 minutes is a year. So you generate a game report. You're supposed to generate it before or anytime actually. Because normally you would do it before they do the game review, which the game review ranges from, again, 1 to 10. And it seems like 7.5. At the publishing, you can invest a little bit of time to analyze the creation and generate a game report. Game reports are a great way to gain research points as well as valuable insights into what works and what doesn't work when developing a game. To generate a game report, close the message and then click anywhere on the screen to bring up the action menu. I've already done that because I've already played the game. I'm not gonna read that. A newcomer. Let me read it in a good voice. I'm not gonna read that though. A newcomer in the game industry has released their first net game, Pong. The game received favorable reviews, such as good start. With such a good start, 1-0-0-1-0-0-1-0-0-1-0-0-1-0-0-1 are third the game bounds quickly. Sorry, I don't know how people sounded like back in the 80s. Now the game is on sale, yeah. This basically is you'll be able to see crap. Like if you click on it, that's only for MMOs later on. But if you click on it, or no, if it sees over here, you're making profit. Ranks is how good it's doing. Unit is how good it's doing as well. You gain fans. The more fans you get, the more the higher your rank goes because more people know about you. It's basically saying it's a good way to get research points and to look at the inside, because research points are used to research. It just says that you should try and research points to improve engines and stuff. So there are two things you can do at the beginning. You can either research new things, which I should probably go and research rhythm, because soon they're going to have the audience, the age group thing, and then they're also going to bring out the game link, which is this version of the Game Boy, like the original Game Boy, not the Game Boy Advance. Like, here's how it is. It's each generation, so it's the start of each generation. So for now, it's only the arcade and the home computers. Next is going to be the Genesis and the NES. Then gonna be the Master System, the SNES. Then the Game Link, Game Boy, the Master V, the Game Gear, and then those are gonna be the PlayStation 1. It's just, again, a start of a new generation. There's no N64 in here. So basically, the entire point of the game is to research and make a game. So I'm gonna research one more game, because in the early 90s, video games were thought to only be for children. So when the audience comes around, the audience research, I'm going to be able to get lots of money, because in the early game, when you get that, you will most likely get lots and lots of everything. So I'm gonna make a evolution simulator. Call it Evo. I know, very original. Now, for the most part, the Commodore and the PC are the same, but no one really uses the Commodore for simulation. I believe strategy isn't as good in there, but strategy, simulation, adventure are amazing on PCs. What about action? Just Cause 3 released in 2015, and it was the best game in the universe. Why? So, I know, for the first game, it's meant to be text-based. Let me just go back, and I know I'm gonna get a lower grade for this, but it means that when I eventually upgrade to level 2, it's gonna be good. So, obviously, a simulation has no story and quests, because if it's questionable, 1 means that it's not important, so it's about here, but from my experience, it's 3 minuses, 2 is right about the middle, so on and so forth. Also, they actually have a polishing mechanic in this, so when you go ahead and build a game and you finish it, after you're done fixing the bugs, you will actually gain points dependent on what should have been in the game. So you have a time constraint like every single game studio, and when you finish the game, it will actually allow you to put in the points that you should have gotten when you were building the game. So a simulation. So again, you won't be able to see any of those hints until you've cleared the game at least once, which I've cleared the game 3 times. So, an important note is to not pay attention to these, pay attention to this. So, if it's 1, make it like so. Like so. If it's 3, like so. If it's 2, like so. Now, there still isn't exactly a good kind of percentage, because that's actually a mod that gets added on, so you don't know if you're close or not to what you originally wanted. Also, this also takes into the fact that the best features are bugs. So sometimes when you clean the bugs, you will actually Nintendo. It will actually allow you to get polished points. So instead of 11.7, I got 11.8. Not as good though, because it's a text-based game. Now, now I'm supposed to wait for it to come out. Generate game report. It's going to be a lower score because, again, it's going backwards in technology. .25. Okay. So now I have a better insight. Now the question marks will go away because then I am now for sure that I know what I'm doing. So for research, I will wait on that and make a hacking strategy. Great combo, because you will see that when you clear the game as well. But it's basically a combo of games. So hacking strategy is a good thing because it's hacking. So I'm gonna call it Ghost. Strategy is good because I'm not sure how good it is on the Commodore, so let me bump it back up to 2D graphics v1. So a strategy game is that's surefire right there. Because a strategy game is similar to a simulation game, but it's not a simulation, it's strategy, obviously. So level design, artificial intelligence are switched. And later on it gets even more and more complex. Oh, here's the old NES. Meaning that they will eventually release the Game Boy. And yes, I do know what most of these things are. I have never held a Game Boy or played an NES, but I know what they are. Well, technically, a 3DS, I have a 3DS XL here, as you probably can tell, is probably most similar to a Game Boy. Besides the 3D graphics and the LCD screen that's not backlit. And never mind. Also, having a new record is generally good as well because it means that you're having a good balance, but more excelling in technology and design. I'm trying to get big research points to get an engine because right now nothing's getting an engine, so it's gonna be 6 all around, I believe. Never mind. Another one. Now, I will say one thing that bugs me about this game. That it's completely random. And I mean completely random. On what it should be. So let me just do this. DDR 3.5 gigahertz. It's supposed to be a play on how DDR is actually a name for the kind of speed of a RAM stick. So it's a simulation, though it's good on the PC. But for the most part, make lots and lots of games. Now you get contract work, which allows you to build up money in the meantime for the downtime of each game. Again, for the most part, simulation and strategy are the same, with these switched around. Also, when you level up each thing, they will become more and more efficient. So level up graphics, they become more efficient. Level up sound, become more efficient. So, for the most part, this is what the entire game is. Normally, I just sit here deciding on what to do, but I have to be talking for a gameplay commentary. Yeah. Now you'll see how well this will go. So 11-11. It's a good balance, but it's not exactly that high. So now I've leveled up. I now have much more general kind of efficiency. 6, 6, 5, 5. One time I just got 6 across the board, like 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Yeah, whatever. There we go. And when you develop more the same game in the same genre, it will get more and more insight, and then you'll be able to get a surefire way to get things. So I'm gonna get a custom engine because engines are useful, because it allows you to cram in some more stuff on built-in architecture. Now, when you get into the AAA games, you will have percentages, which is how much our system is done. That's the reason why you go ahead and make polish out the game. So, for now, I'm just going to research some things so I can get better stuff. I'll make one more game that doesn't have an engine, because normally games without an engine take longer because they have to build upon the game thing again. So, develop a game. Alternate history adventure. I'm gonna call it I just smash keyboards thing. Let's try the old Commodore, because if you develop a game for a system, depending on how much games you develop for it, you get a market share, meaning that you get more money when they go off the market. I think I'm just going to edit in some stuff. Yeah, I have no idea actually. Oh, finally, the NES has been released. So, it's all stock things so that it's not like anything, but you're allowed to say them in the game, in the actual recording. When a bug gets released with the game, it sells crappier, which is a given. So let me research this. Now, in the beginning, you're supposed to be getting lower scores than this. I don't know why I'm getting such high scores. Both because I played the game, it tells me what to do. Because it's not until you reach $1 million that you get the next one. Oh yeah, also that is a scary thing. Basically, okay, so I'm gonna call it. So the contracts are scary because if you fail them, you actually lose more money than you gain. If you succeed, then yeah. But let me get all of this. It's gonna cost a lot. Ooh. Also, depending on how I like how this. Depending on how successful your company is, the bank will give you more and more money depending on how successful. So this is building a custom engine. Now normally you're not able to get 2D graphics version 2 because there's a time constraint on everything you make. By having a game engine that's already built and ready to go, you're able to have much more polished everything. And now I get the target audience research. That's the reason why I said it was good to get the one that's good for the youngins in the beginning. that I can use it in the next game, but I'm going to generate a game report. Because there was never really anything too like, violent on the old NES besides Castlevania. So if I develop a new game and I go to the platform, actually let me go and research target audience. So after you research target audience in the platform section of the game dev screen, you're able to see what platform is good for what age group. So obviously it's shooters to life. So if you go to development game, I know, you specify it. Really for everyone isn't particularly good on that because everyone likes mature games on the PCs. Now, if I remember correctly, it's young people that like that. So rhythm, RPG, call it final mix of DOM. Yeah, the entire point of that naming system is to name whatever the hell you want. So I need tutorials, that, the RPG, so it needs much more of that. Final mix of DOM. So depending on how successful your company is, you get a bailout. Oh look, the Master System. Wasn't it supposed to be the Genesis then Master System? Or was it? I don't know actually. So this is just a literal RPG that I made a few seconds ago. Actually, so the thing about how Sony and Nintendo were going to make the Playtendo, that was actually a thing, but it never actually went through, and it's actually reflected in the game. It's Nintendo and Sony that wanted to make the first PlayStation, how I described it, Playtendo basically, and didn't go through with it. But instead, Sony made the Play System, not PlayStation. It's a clever play on words. Oops. I did not remember that I had the... Oops. So let me just create a new game. Rated E for everyone. Alternate history. Not RPG. Adventure. Action. Rated E for everyone. And give it this, and I'm gonna call it Poo Ring. It's times like these where I'm glad that I don't have to think about the goddamn naming. So there's no story in quest, so no linear story. Normally you keep that in to make it ever better. Poo Ring. I just bashed the keyboard. How did it come out with English? I was like, ooh, oops. I just bashed the keyboard. How did it come out with English? That's my question. Okay, now I'm getting more and more in thing. And the technology because design is. Oh, you'll work it out when you get the game. If you think, oh god! At least to get 3D graphics 3.3. No, 2D graphics 3.3, not 3D graphics yet. And here's the phrase, yet. Oh, 8, 9, 8, 9. Now later on, you will get to do sequels. If it's a successful sequel from a very crappy game that you made way back in the day, but then you remade it or made a sequel to it, it will get so highly rated. Because if it's a highly rated sequel to a highly rated game, it will be even more highly rated. That's how it works. Like, Just Cause 2 was a highly rated game for 2001. 14 years later comes Just Cause 3 and blows it away. So let me just research some of everything. Now, if I remember correctly, at one point in time, Ninja was rated E for everyone. I don't quite remember. So for the most part, research everything, even though most of the time you won't actually see anything. Or use most of all of that research. Now, with the latest update is that you end in the year 2013, meaning that you're able to make a game for the Wii U. Because you have the casual games research, but you can't, I mean, they don't have it yet. But when they get casual games, you're able to go ahead and basically make any Wii game ever. Because first is the Woo, then the Wii U. Woo or something. I don't remember how it's softly said in here. So, it's government simulation. America! Okay, that's the max amount of exclamation marks. The Master System isn't particularly good with simulation. The Master System wasn't really good with anything really, because there was a lot of lag involved. I mean, the only thing that would be there would be rated E for everyone simulation. Assuming that the NES was good for simulations. America! Ow. Ow. My throat. My throat. So each time is allocated, each point is allocated in weirdly, whatever. But if your character dude isn't high enough level, I can't move it out of the way. If your character dude isn't high enough level or high enough speed, he will get stopped at. He will get stuck at some points, causing a time restriction to go by, meaning that it would be more bugs and more time to polish it off. It's a clever game that mimics real life quite well, actually. Oh, here's the gold Game Boy. Game Boy. Yes. It ain't exactly a 3DS though. better user experience, that just means that it's a better game. But I'm gonna speak as casual games because it's eventually the Wii's gonna be released. Oh, the one that put America in the title becomes the biggest hit of the century. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Now, I have never gotten perfect 10 on anything. Actually, I have to lie, I have. I've gotten an 11 out of 10 on some things too. Yeah, that's right, you're able to get an 11 out of 10. Not yet, because I'll wait for the thing to pay back. So, if I remember, yeah, not a high score, achievements. So you have turn up to 11. Get a reviewer to give you 11, 10 rating. The only reason why they're like different colors is because it's how fast you do it. I haven't gone eat cake because what you meant to do for eat cake is when you get to the higher office, so the highest office in the game, you will get instructed by John Johnson to put red exploding barrels into a game. That entire thing is a reference to Portal. I already knew this because, you know, John Johnson, the cake was a lie. So for the most part, release games that are different. Because when you eventually do make some sequels, you need them to be different and better. I think I'm gonna post it up as a what's going on and not as an actual series, because I know it's a bit of a long video, but this is the entire game. So I'm just gonna say bye everyone, and ooh, marketing. Anyways, I'll be it for this session video to cut it up. Bye.